Okay. Yeah, we are waiting like yeah, waiting people that are gonna join the live event. So what's up, guys? I see we are in three for now. So let's wait a little bit more. Hope that someone else is gonna join here. So where can I find the account of the people that are actually following me? Can you drop like a comment? In this way I'm gonna be able to see who are here. Okay, we are in four. Oh, ciao Mijin, ciao Mijin. Like, it's my pleasure to have this call at this live event. This is my first time that I'm going live with my Facebook group community. I'm so excited about that. And yeah, let's see who are. Oh, Jeremy. Oh, ciao Kristen. Ciao Jeremy. We have to finish like also our calls in the next week probably. So let's wait a couple of minutes more before starting with the event and the topics that we're gonna discuss today. Oh, ciao Aaron. Ciao man. Okay, it's a pleasure. See you, these guys here. Okay, we are in five now. I want to remind you like to drop a comment. In this way I'm gonna be able to see who are basically following us, who are in the call. Ciao, Ciao, Benita. Would like to connect? Right, it's my pleasure. Sure. I created this event especially for these because I want to support like my community of creators that are trying to launch their crowdfunding campaign, and it's my pleasure like share my experience in that and accompany you like step by step in doing that. So we are in six now. Giulio, ciao Giulio. Talk to you soon, man. Probably tomorrow morning we are gonna have like a private call. Okay, we are in seven now. Eight. Ciao, ciao Renata. Ciao Renata. Ciao Charlotte. It's my pleasure. Oh, okay. We are a few people. Okay, okay. So excited about that. This is my first time that I'm going live actually. So I'm experienced. All of that like is new for me, but it's exciting. So it's basically 7:33 p.m. At 35, we are gonna start. Like letting like a couple of minutes more to see if someone else is gonna join. In this way, I'm not gonna repeat like the subject again, and the guy are not gonna wait. I'm not gonna lose anything. Okay, we are in now. Be sure to present yourself in the comment section. In this way, we are gonna be able to connect each other. Okay, we are in 10. Okay, very happy to see all these guys join here. Like yeah, I would invite you guys to drop a comment inside the comment section in order to know each other and present yourself. In this way, I'm gonna be able to interact with you more oftenly. And if you're gonna have any questions, I'm gonna be able to reply you there. So if you, I would invite you like to present yourself there. And we'll start the session in 1 minute, actually in 1 minute each. And the topic is going to be something pretty interesting. So we are going to see how to basically grow up your email list of potential backers for your crowdfunding campaign in three different kind of ways, in three methods. Okay, so it's 35 now, so we can start with the session. We are in 10. Okay, I would invite everyone new in this kind of live session to present yourself inside the comment section. In this way, we're gonna connect each other. Okay, we are in 11. Okay, guys, happy to see you join, guys. Okay, so let's start with the live session of today. So this is going to be like a pretty informal kind of talk that I'm going to have about how to grow up your email list in 3 different ways the email list of potential backers for your crowdfunding campaign. Okay, that is going to be so fundamental. And we're going to see that in a bit. A couple of these kind of ways are going to be like, are not going to require any kind of ads budget. So I would invite to all the people that are interested to know that more, to know more about that, like to follow that, because it's going to be pretty exciting, I think, and very supportive. And yeah, so basically I am Matteo Sati, and I'm a crowdfunding coach. What I do is following like clients in different kind of fields in launching like their projects in a crowdfunding. And I'm doing that like since a year ago basically. And after like that, we managed to raise with our startup, landing like more than $650,000 on Indiegogo. And so from that moment, I'm basically coaching other campaign owners in doing the same with their project. Yeah, so I've created like this Facebook group community in order to support also them in like these informal kind of ways. And yeah, so let's start with the topic of this live talk, which is how to grow up your email list of potential backers in 3 different ways. So let's start about like talking about why is this important, creating like an email list. So the email list of potential backers is going to be the most fundamental part of your crowdfunding launch. In fact, during the pre-launch of your crowdfunding campaign, you're going to collect all potential backers that are going to be interested in backing your project when you are going to be live on Kickstarter or Indiegogo either. Okay, and that kind of audience, that kind of pool of people is going to be the kind of people, the kind of backers, the kind of potential backers that are going to support your project during the first hours of the campaign, which is going to be the most fundamental time frame. Okay, you want to have already a warm audience of people that are going to be fully aware of what's going on, of what your project is, and informed about everything related to your project when you're going to be live. In this way, thanks to these people that are going to be already ready to back your project, they probably are going to back your project in the first hours. And these kind of guys are going to convince new backers, fresh new backers, in backing your project, okay? Because people already done that, okay? So for this reason, it's going to be so important creating a community of people. And we're going to use email because it's going to cost us less. Because with email, we can have an asset that is basically owned by ourselves. Okay, if we are going to collect these people as a social, like over the social platform, first of all, we don't own the social platforms. And secondly, it's going to cost us more to get their attention when the campaign is going to be live. Because with the social platform, we are going to pay twice. When we're going to acquire them as a follower, and then when we are going to reach them, okay, in order to say, hey guys, we are finally live, please go to our page and back the project. That is going to cost us more because the organic reach is going to be very limited inside this social platform. So it's going to be very fundamental creating our own asset of email, because we're going to be able to use the email whenever we want. Okay, as many times as we want. And then the most important thing is that sending email is free. Okay, so when we are going to be live, we are going to send out an email blast. Hey guys, we are finally live. Please go on our page and back the project because you asked me to do that. Okay, because you signed up in our email list. Okay, so for this reason, it's going to be very, very fundamental creating this email list of people potentially interested in becoming your backers for your crowdfunding campaign. What I always tell to my clients is an aware kind of community is a community that is gonna convert more over the crowdfunding campaign. So it's gonna be very, very fundamental creating this email list. So let's see how to basically Costas is posting, hello guys, I need some traffic. My project is live on Kickstarter. Thanks for your support. Share the campaign. Hey Costas, I it's okay that you post that there, but it's not the right place to do that. You don't want to post like your campaign to promote your campaign. You want to ask questions instead here because we are talking about how to build your email list. Okay, so I'm gonna hide the comments, but like feel free to repost something on the group to ask like some support, okay, or like some feedback and similar, okay. Anyway, so what I was saying is, you want to build this email list, and you can do that in 3 different ways, okay, mainly in 3 different ways. The first one is using paid advertising. The second one is using Facebook groups, okay, large community inside the social platform, okay, Facebook groups. And the third one is using influence figures, influence people, influence kind of, I would say influence kind of figures in your community, in your niche, that could give you like a good boost over the landing page where you are gonna collect the emails. Okay, those are the 3 methods. Let's get into the first one, okay, which is the paid advertising. So what I suggest you for paid advertising, so first of all, in order to collect an email list, you would need a landing page. A landing page is a pretty easy, pretty simple kind of website where you are gonna be able to describe more your project and collect contacts of people that would be interested in getting more information about your project, okay? And get like updates about your project until the actual launch of the crowdfunding campaign, okay? So the landing page is going to be something pretty easy, where you're going to be able to describe the project and collect the contacts of these people. Now the thing is, you need to drive a traffic over this page to collect emails of potential backers for the reason that we've seen just before. Now, how can we drive this traffic? We can use 3 different kind of ways, as I told you before. Let's see the first one, which is the Facebook ads. Okay, which is the paid advertising, which is not necessarily being only Facebook ads, but what I suggest you is to use Facebook ads mainly, because first of all, is currently the cheapest way to run ads, and also the most detailed way to define a specific kind of target for our project. Okay, and over the landing page. So the Facebook ads, I would suggest you to running some campaigns, conversion campaigns, because you can run different kind of campaigns. The kind of campaigns that I suggest you to run are conversions campaign. Conversion campaign are campaigns where you're going to define a specific kind of event in Facebook, and Facebook is going to optimize that kind of the budget spending in order to let you reach that kind of event as many times as you as possible with the budget that you are spending. Okay, so you want to create like a conversion event, and then you want to run like a conversion campaign to drive traffic over the landing page. And the kind of assets, so the kind of targets that you're going to target with your advertising, what I suggest you is to use a target, is to define the target by interest. Okay, so you can define specific kind of interests. For example, let's say that I'm launching like a watch. Okay, I would select like in terms of interests, all the kind of interests related to the watch industry. So all the brands inside the watch and all the kind of interests that I'm going to be able to find out about watches. Okay, but don't be too much, don't narrow it down too much, but you want to start a little bit wider, okay, with the kind of target. Why that? Because we're going to start a little wider. In this way, the Facebook algorithm is going to be able to work better, and then because it's going to have more room to work. basically, to work. Response that we're going to get from this kind of a campaign, from the ad set itself, we are going to adjust the targeting. Okay, so we're going to start a little wider, targeting by running like a conversion campaign and like targeting like the target by interest. And then based on the response of this kind of campaign, of this advertising, we are going to adjust the target that we are going to use for the advertising. And for example, we can adjust the target based on the demographics, okay, such as age range, such as gender, such as yeah, mainly that. Okay, wider, and then we're gonna see by the charts inside the campaign, which is basically the demographics in terms of age group that basically perform that, and or the location, for example. And then based on that, we're gonna adjust the budget in order to target only that specific kind of people. Okay, so we're gonna adjust the budget, adjust the target actually, in order to target only, for example, the kind of age group that is costing me less, or the kind of gender that is costing me less, or is converting more. Okay, which means that is basically costing you less. Okay, so we're gonna start wide, and then based on the response, we're gonna adjust the target. Okay, so we're gonna run the campaign for at least, let's say, 7 days, something like that. After this time, we're gonna basically adjust the target based on which kind of demographics in terms of age group, in terms of gender, and location is basically performing most. Okay, in this way, we're gonna start spending the money in the most wise way, because we're gonna spend the budget only throughout the kind of audience that is actually responding most. And this means that we are going to be able to increase the conversion rate and decrease the acquisition cost. Okay. We can also adjust the delivery of our ads. For example, we can see like inside the reports which kind of day or which kind of time is costing me less. Okay, and then we're gonna adjust the delivery of our ads based on this kind of data. For example, based on which kind of date or which kind of day or which kind of time is costing me less. Okay, in terms of conversion, in terms of people that I'm converting over my landing page. Okay, in this way, we are gonna be able to be step by step, a little bit more precise with the targeting, which means that we are going to be able to decrease the acquisition cost and increase the conversion rate of our paid ads. And this is basically the first way that we want to use in order to drive traffic over the landing page in order to collect emails. Okay, another kind of optimization that we want to do is by testing different kind of creatives for our ads. So what I suggest you is to don't use only one kind of creatives when you're gonna run these conversion campaign, where with the objective of emails collected over the landing page. Okay, in the Facebook ads, but you want to test multiple kind of creatives. For example, multiple kind of videos, multiple kind of images, and then optimize also which kind of creative is working most. Okay, that is gonna definitely help you out in decreasing the acquisition cost and increase the conversion rate of your advertising on Facebook. Okay, so another kind of tip with the Facebook ads in order to collect the leads, in order to collect emails of potential backers, is to run simultaneously two kinds of campaign. The first one is the conversion campaign, and the second one is the lead campaign. Okay, what I suggest you is to run them simultaneously and see basically which one is converting most and which one basically is costing you less, for example, and then you're gonna only focus the budget through the kind of a campaign that is costing you less or is converting more. Okay, conversion campaign, leads campaign, and then we're gonna see which one of these kind of campaigns is giving me like the best kind of results for the paid advertising for the Facebook ads. Okay. Anyway, don't run the Facebook ads if you don't have like some experience on that before. Okay, because otherwise could be a real money pit. Okay. If that is the case, I would suggest you to start approaching with the following kind of methods. And the second one, in fact, is collecting emails of potential backers using Facebook groups. Okay, using Facebook groups. So what does it mean that? So we can use the Facebook groups in two different ways. So the first one is to identify around like the community on Facebook, for example, Facebook groups related to my same niche. Okay. One thing, if you're gonna have any questions, you can post them inside the comment section, or you can wait for the end of this presentation, and we're gonna have like 10 minutes where we are gonna have like a Q&A, and I'm gonna reply also to the questions that already people ask me inside the Facebook group. So if you're gonna have any questions, like just drop them inside the comment section, and we are gonna see that together like in the last 10 minutes of the live talk. So yeah, the first way is to look for some Facebook groups in my same niche. So for example, I'm doing like watches. Okay, I'm launching like a campaign on watch. And basically, in order to find out potential kind of backers for that kind of campaign, we are gonna be able to go on Facebook and start looking for groups about the same kind of topics. For example, watches, watch lover. Because probably the people that are gonna back me when the campaign is gonna be live are gonna be watch lover. Those are the kind of people that we are looking for. And people that join Facebook groups about watches are the kind of people that potentially could be my backers, and for sure are gonna be interested in the project that I'm gonna launch in crowdfunding. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start looking for Facebook groups in my same niche. So for example, watch lover, luxury brooches, something like that. I'm focused about watch because I have a client of mine that is gonna launch at the end of February about like a luxury watch. So I'm doing all these examples like this, but can be applied for any kind of case, for any kind of field. Yeah, so we are gonna start looking for these kind of Facebook groups, and then we are gonna start interacting inside these kind of groups. For example, by asking questions, by asking feedback about your project. Hey guys, I found out like this kind of, I created this kind of brand, this kind of design for this watch. What do you think about it? This is the design. This is my website where you're gonna be able to get some information about it. Okay, so if you want to get some value from the people, from the community, ask questions. Okay, you want to ask feedback to the people if you want to get back some value. Okay, ask feedback. And so go inside this kind of community and start asking questions, replying to their kind of questions either. Okay, you want to interact, start engaging with the people inside these Facebook groups by also posting little by little your landing page, where you're gonna be able to show to the people your project, and if they like, they are gonna be able to submit their emails inside the landing page. Okay, the landing page about your project, obviously. But at that point, you actually collected the leads for free, because it's free, like posting and start to interact with the people on the Facebook groups. Okay, so Facebook groups can be, this is the first way that you can use in order to generate leads, in order to generate emails of potential backers using the Facebook group. The second way that you can use in order to collect leads, to collect emails of potential backers for your crowdfunding campaign using Facebook group, is by running your own Facebook group. So if you are, guys, multitask, I would suggest you to come back here, because that is going to be very, very important, and this is something that sometimes is a game changer. So what I suggest to my clients always is to create a Facebook group community regarding your project, launch, your Kickstarter campaign launch. And you can call it, for example, project name Kickstarter Club, or project name Kickstarter launch, or Kickstarter campaign. And you want to create this kind of group. Why that? Because first of all, you're gonna focus the attention on your product. You're gonna collect people that would be potentially interested in that kind of product, even inside Facebook. Okay, so you're gonna have a sort of space where you can convert the emails that you collected in the meantime, and let them become a member of your Facebook group. In this way, you're potential backers in multiple channels when the campaign is going to be live, inside the email and also inside the Facebook group. Okay, and secondly, if the name is going to be something related to the niche, for example, brand name Kickstarter Watch Club, or Kickstarter watch lover, something like that. Okay, in this way, the people that are looking for same kind of topics inside of the Facebook groups, like in the Facebook search, they're going to be able to find out your group. And this means that they are going to be able to join, and inside the Facebook group, you're gonna post the link of your landing page, where you're gonna be able to collect the emails of these people again for free. Okay, so this is the second kind of method that you can use in order to generate leads of potential backers for your crowdfunding campaign for free, essentially. The third method to generate emails of potential backers, and this is also that it depends. That can be like for free and also by paying, but it depends. Okay, it depends by the case. The third method is by using like influent figures inside your community. Okay, influent people inside your community, which doesn't mean that you want to use influencers. Like, you can also use influencers, but we are not talking about only influencers, but who, like, anyone who could have basically a sort of a big crowd of people that following for a specific kind of niche. Okay, so for example, you could use you could basically create a partnership with Facebook groups admin, for example. Okay, so you can reach them out, start talking with them, and build like a partnership, and see if they're going to be interested in post your project, your landing page inside their communities. Okay, or for example, you could use magazines. Okay, so for example, magazines in specific kind of fields, they tend to have a lot of kind of email list. Okay, a lot of emails collected in their list. Okay, you could ask to get access to them, to promote your project, to promote your landing page through them. Okay, so you can reach them out because they are going to be in the same kind of field of your project, and then you're going to ask if they are going to be interested in do a shout out about your landing page in order to collect the leads. And these can be like by payment. This could be like for free, depending by the kind of partnership that you could do, or like paying them. Okay, for example, how to use influencers. Another kind of way that you could use like influence kind of figures in your kind of market that could be interested in doing a partnership. For example, you can ask to an influencer to do a shout out about your project, about your landing page, in exchange of an exclusive access to your product or service. So for example, you're gonna give to them like your product for free in exchange of some promotion. Actually, that is gonna cost you something, but it's gonna cost you for sure something less compared to only offering them money. Okay, so you're gonna basically tell them, hey, like, man, if you're gonna post, or if you're gonna do a search out about our landing page, about our project, we are gonna give you like some free product, okay, that you are gonna be able to use for whatever you want. basically we use this a client of mine used this kind of strategy, and they basically were launching a horseback riding kind of brand for women. Okay, very very niche, and basically they managed to get a partnership with one of the top influencer in Italy about that, and she had like something around 40,000 followers, something like that. And basically they said, hey, can you basically post some stories or like some posts about in order to drive traffic through our landing page, and in change we're going to give you some free samples of our product, of our pants in that case. And basically she had content, and they managed to collect something around like 2,000 leads in 24 hours. So it's pretty big, even with only this small kind of community. Okay. So the third way, in order to recap, is to use partnership and do kind of a collaboration with the influence figures, influence kind of people inside your community that would be interested in promote your brand, in promote your project for some kind of reason. So what I suggest you is to try to reach them out and see if they're going to be interested in doing a sort of collaboration, a sort of partnership. And my suggestion, my warm suggestion, is to don't offer money first, offer collaboration instead. Okay, so you want to offer collaboration, and then if they're gonna refuse that, you could also propose like some money. But in that case, you're gonna try to go do both. You could also offer money and like some exclusive access to the product. But at that point, it's gonna the money part is gonna be like lower, okay, than the first kind of approach. So in order to recap, basically, the third method that you can use in order to grow up your email list of potential backers are: first one, paid advertising, and we've seen how to do that. Second, using Facebook groups community in two different ways: by interacting with Facebook groups in your same niche and opening your own Facebook group about your niche, okay, about your kind of market. Third method is by building partnerships and collaborations with the influence figures or people that have access to a big list of potential backers, okay, in your same niche, in your same community. Okay, those are basically the three methods that I would suggest you to follow in order to grow up your email list. Now, this is basically the end of this presentation, but it's time for the Q&A session. Okay, so I'm gonna reply first of all to a couple of questions that you asked me inside the post on the Facebook group about that. And then if you're gonna have any other questions, I'll be happy to reply you there. So if you're gonna have any questions, like, be sure to submit that inside the comment there, in the comment section, and this is the time for doing that. So if you're gonna have any questions about that or crowdfunding in general, just post like the comment there, and I'm gonna be able to reply you. Okay, so the first question was from, let me get the question from my mobile. Okay, so the first question was from Mijin Lee. Okay, Mijin, is it spelled like correctly? Mijin Lee. So Mijin Lee is asking me, what is a good conversion rate for CPL on ads, and how much would you spend for ads if you aim for 100K in return? That is a good question. Okay, very interesting kind of question. So let's start about talking about CPL, because not everyone are gonna be able to, okay, which is a good acquisition cost during the pre-launch. Giulio, read that. And actually the answer that I was about to give to Mijin is basically about that, because she was asking what is a good CPL for the email collection. So basically, the CPL, for the ones who don't know that, is the cost per lead, essentially. So how much we are spending to generate one lead on our landing on our landing page or whatever, and basically that is going to be equal to amount spent over that ad over the number of leads that actually I have collected, okay, from that specific ad or from that kind of specific kind of strategy. So a good CPL, in my opinion, basically it's when you are testing, when you are in the testing phase of your Facebook ads, a good CPL is something, it's everything below $3. Okay, so when you are testing your Facebook ads in the first, let's say, 7 up to 10 days, a good kind of acquisition cost, CPL, is something below $3 per lead collected. When you are gonna start becoming more precise with your target, with your ads, so you already done some targeting, like some testing also for the ads creative and everything, I would aim to something below 1.5. Okay, so $1.5 when you are like be more precise with your target, with your ads creative. For example, when you are building a lookalike audience, you want to aim to at least below the $1.5 per lead collected. Okay, now that is basically a good or just like a benchmark. Okay, because it really depends by the market, the competition in that kind of period of time, and also on the kind of on how much good you are gonna be on improving it. I had clients that basically were acquiring leads at a different kind of cost. For example, there was like one client, the best client that I got was converting basically people lead paying like 30 cents per each of them, like between 25 up to 30 cents per lead, which is best kind of like is very good. Okay, it's the best. It's very good kind of acquisition cost, and that was something after the whole optimization of the Facebook ads, using like the method that I was teaching to him. But there was also another, and he was like in a very big kind of market, like a video game kind of industry. But there was also another kind of client of mine, the horseback riding one, that basically were acquiring leads paying something around €1, so it's something $1.2 per lead. Okay, yeah, 30 cents is amazing. It's my best kind of, it's the best kind of acquisition cost I ever seen with all my clients so far. Yeah, I would think that there was this other kind of client of mine that was converting at $1.3 per email, okay, per lead collected. And that was in a very niche kind of market, so the horseback riding kind of market. So as I was telling you, it really depends on the kind of marketing, the kind of and how much good you're gonna be in identifying the kind of target you are looking for, and how much good you're gonna be in improving it. So it really depends. You want to work very good on the optimization, on the testing phase, and aim to that kind of benchmark that I told you. Now, in order to reply to the second part of your question, Mijin, how much like the budget that you need to spend in ads if you are aiming to 100K launch. So there is not like a unique answer to that. For sure, what I would suggest you is to take in consideration at least 10% of the amount of money that you are looking for your crowdfunding launch as at the budget. Okay, and this other budget could be spent like in two different kind of phase, in the pre-launch phase and also during the launch. So let's say if you are looking for like $100,000 launch, you want to take in consideration at least something around like 10K in terms of ad budget. And you would spend this 10K between like the pre-launch in order to acquire emails, and also during the campaign in order to promote the actual campaign to collect leads, to collect like pre-orders in this case. The thing is that when you are gonna actually run in the campaign and you're gonna start spending like money with the ads, the cool thing is that those ads are gonna generate sales. So you're gonna be also virtually have more budget to spend in the ads again to generate more sales. Okay, so this is gonna be like a sort of a circle. So actually, at that point, when you are running the actual crowdfunding campaign, the budget is gonna also depend on what you are gonna get. Okay, on what you are getting over your crowdfunding campaign. Let me read your question, Mijin, your answer. So thank you, Mattia. We are spending 1.5 per lead at this moment. It's not bad. What would you recommend a ratio of percentage for spending on ads during the pre-launch and during launch? So I think that I already replied to you. So if you are looking for on, as you asked me, like $100,000 launch, you would take in consideration at least 10% of that amount in ad spending. Okay, and I would suggest you to spend at least half of them before the launch. So half of them, half of those 10K before the launch to generate leads, to generate emails, and the rest of these 5K during the crowdfunding campaign in order to generate sales. But the cool thing is that during the crowdfunding campaign, when you're gonna spend money, you're gonna generate sales. You're not gonna generate email anymore. So you're gonna generate sales, and at that point, you're gonna have also more money to continue promoting your crowdfunding campaign. So at that point, it's gonna become a sort of e-commerce, okay? And there is not gonna be a fixed budget that you could spend, okay, to promote, because more money you're gonna spend during the crowdfunding campaign if you did your homework well, more sales you're gonna generate, okay? Because actually you are getting more pre-orders. So there is not like a fixed amount. Then there is gonna be like a big kind of discussion about the acquisition cost for, you mean only ad spending is 10? Yes. Mijin was asking, you mean only ad spending is 10% from the funding goal, correct? Yeah, you would take that in consideration as a benchmark. Okay, it's not a fixed kind of answer, because again, it's not depending on the budget. Okay, it's depending on how many meals you need to collect before the launch in order to reach that goal. And this is basically well explained in my ebook, where you're gonna be able to find out all the worksheets that is gonna tell you how many meals you would aim to in order to reach a specific goal amount. Okay, there is like the formula that you want to complete that is gonna give you like this kind of answer. And you can find the link of the ebook inside the group description. Or I can also share it here if you don't have it. Let me see if I'm gonna be able to find it out for you. And I'm gonna post it inside the comment section. Oh, here we are. Yeah, so basically inside the ebook, as I was telling you, there is gonna be like this kind of work, which is gonna basically give you like the answer of how many meals you need to collect in order to reach a specific kind of goal for your crowdfunding campaign. Okay, so taking in consideration that, so it's not based on how much you are gonna spend, okay, to generate that kind of goal, but it's based on how many in order to reach that specific kind of goal once live. Okay, so at that point, it's gonna really depend on how much you're gonna spend in the acquisition of the leads. Okay, so there is not a fixed amount, as I was telling you. So let's go to the second question. How many days before you suggest to start freelance ads campaign in order to collect emails? As soon as you can. So if you want to launch like a crowdfunding campaign, you would have started the lead collection yesterday. That is gonna be the most fundamental part to start with. Okay, like more emails you're gonna collect, big community you're gonna build, because it's not gonna be only matter of emails collection. Okay, you need to create a community. Okay, so using the emails, using Facebook group, using also different kind of stuff. So it's gonna be very, very important creating this community, starting from the email, because it's going to be the best kind of way to approach and to the best kind of contact, the best kind of contact that you can get from your potential kind of backers, future backers. Okay. So in our case, for example, with Solenica, we run the pre-launch phase for 6 months, but it really depends on how much you are looking for in terms of goal, and how much big your community should be. Okay. Hope I replied to you, Giulio. Anyway, the second question that I got was from Stefano Gabrieli. Let me see if Stefano is here. Stefano, are you there? Are you in the live? Just drop me a comment if you are here. Anyway, I'm gonna go further with replying to your question. So basically, Stefano was asking, sure, ciao Giulio, sure. Stefano was asking me, I have a really big doubt. For launching a crowdfunding campaign for a product not high-tech or digital, with a low advertising budget, what's better between Indiegogo and Kickstarter? Are there other platforms to take into account? Thanks, guys. Thank you, Stefano, for asking, sharing this question with us. So, now the answer is really depend on the nature of the project. Okay, so Stefano was asking, I'm launching a not high-tech or like a not digital kind of project. Which kind of a platform is going to be the best for my project, like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, or should I take in consideration different kind of platform? So it really depends on the nature of the project. So let me give an example. Let's say that you are running like a board games. Okay, you are learning like you are building like a board game, and you want to launch a crowdfunding campaign for that kind of board game, which is not on a high tech and a digital kind of project. It's a board game. Okay, actually, if you want to launch a board game, Kickstarter is the platform where board games were basically successfully funded most in the past. Actually, the most funded 2020 crowdfunding campaign was for a board game on Kickstarter, and basically they managed to raise more than $13 million on Kickstarter. And I also released a video about that. I'm gonna send you like the link of the blog where you're gonna be able to find out also this kind of article and video that I released about this kind of particular kind of campaign. So the most funded crowdfunding campaign in the 2020 was for a board game, and they managed to raise like $13 million. I know, it's crazy. Anyway, I sent you like the link of the blog inside the comment section where you're gonna be able to find out the article and the video that I released about that. So it really depends. So if you are running like a crowdfunding campaign for a board game, probably Kickstarter is also is the platform where you want to be. If you are running, for example, movie project, okay, you would also take in consideration like Kickstarter and Indiegogo both, okay, either, because that could be also featured there, okay. if, let's say that you want to pick up between Kickstarter and Indiegogo based on the nature of your project. For the most of the times, you want to start with Kickstarter if you are aiming to user United States citizen kinds of user base for your project as a for collecting pre-orders. So Kickstarter is the place where you want to be. If you are looking for a more European kind of citizens, users, you want to go for Indiegogo mainly, only because they opened in Europe before Kickstarter, so they have more people there. But also it really depends on the nature of the sorting. Yon Cite is saying that's a good question. That's a good question. Which kind of question you are referring? Sorry. I think like how many days before you suggest to start pre-launch campaign in order to collect emails. Sorry, I just like replied to Giulio before. Like earlier, basically, it really you want to start like as soon as possible with the list collection. Anyway, don't worry. This video is gonna be uploaded inside the group, so you are not gonna lose that, and you're gonna be able to rewatch it as many times as you want. Okay. It really depends on the nature of the project where you want to where you want to be featured on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. So for example, on Indiegogo, there are a lot of e-bikes kind of campaigns that were successfully funded in the past. So probably if you are running like a crowdfunding campaign for an e-bike, I would suggest you to go on Indiegogo. Okay, if you're running like a board games, I would suggest you to go on Kickstarter because basically the platform is going to have more potential backers in their database for that project because they already featured campaigns that in the past were successfully funded. Okay, that is more or less like the kind of the way that you want to approach to choose, like to choose the to choose the platform. But mainly, if you're looking for United States kind of users, United States kind of pre-orders, you want to start with the Kickstarter in the most of the case, and then run an Indiegogo in-demand program after the successful crowdfunding campaign that you launched on Kickstarter, which is basically a sort of e-commerce where you can still collecting pre-orders from the people, but in Indiegogo instead. Okay. So what was the second kind of part of question? With low ads budget, what's better between Indiegogo and Kickstarter? Oh yeah, the thing is that I would like to cover is that the ads budget is not gonna depend, so it's not gonna affect the choice of where you're gonna get your project featured on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. You would reserve, if you're gonna aim to let's say a decent kind of amount of a discrete kind of goal, you would reserve like some budget for the ad spending, for the ad creation, for the promotion of your crowdfunding campaign, that you're gonna spend before the actual launch to collect some leads, and also during the crowdfunding campaign to promote the actual campaign. So in any cases, you want to allocate some budget there, unless you are running a crowdfunding campaign for a no-profit kind of organization. In that case, what I suggest is to get featured on GoFundMe and then ask for like promotion from big influencers or like a press, but it's not the case. Like I mainly support like campaign owners that are gonna get featured on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, so business-oriented kind of campaigns. And the thing is, in order to finish the reply to Stefano, you don't want to take in consideration the budget only, okay, when you are gonna be live with your crowdfunding campaign, but the most important thing is to also create a community, okay, of people before the actual launch, as I was basically telling you before. Okay, so you don't want to take in consideration like which kind of platform you want to choose based on the how much budget you're gonna have for the advertising, because you need to create a community first. So the actual launch, and this is the golden rule, okay, for all the multitasking kind of guys, come back here. I have like a golden rule to share because this is something that I always receive that clients like always ask me. So the golden rule is you need the campaign launch and the campaign page are the very last steps to take in order to launch a successful crowdfunding campaign. So if you want to launch a crowdfunding campaign, don't start thinking about the materials for the campaign page. Those are the very last steps. You need to build a warm and solid community of potential backers before the actual launch. In this way, when you're going to be live, you're already going to have people interested in backing your project, and those kind of backers are going to convince fresh new backers in backing your campaign. And this is going to generate a good buzz around the crowdfunding campaign, which is going to consent you to reach the goal in the easiest way. Okay? So as I was telling you before, be sure to focus the attention and the efforts on building a solid and warm community of potential backers before the actual launch. In this way, you're going to be sure to reach your goal once you're going to be live with your crowdfunding campaign. So don't start thinking about the campaign materials now if you are not, basically, if you didn't run a proper pre-launch phase yet. Okay, but instead, what I suggest you is to create the community of potential backers that are going to be interested. Again, I'm going to post you like the link of the ebook that I created, which is basically a pre-launch manual that is going to condense all the steps that you need to take in order to build up a community of potential backers for launching a successful crowdfunding campaign. I sent you again the link inside the comment section, and you're going to be able to download this ebook that is going to guide you step by step on the top 3 main priorities in order to build up your community, in order to run a proper pre-launch phase for successfully launch your crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter and Indiegogo both. Okay. Anyway, guys, once you're gonna submit your email in order to receive the ebook, you're gonna also join my newsletter where I weekly share basically content about crowdfunding, like precious kind of information and article and resources that I'm gonna weekly share only with my newsletter. And also I'm gonna give you updates regarding a program that I'm basically building for following like project creators in running their pre-launch phase in the most effective way. So I'm gonna give you more details about that in the next weeks. So be sure to sign up there inside of the newsletter. In this way, I'm gonna be able to give you all the details about this new program that I'm gonna launch in the next weeks to support project creators in running a proper pre-launch phase to successfully launch their project on crowdfunding. So if you have, okay, Aaron says, so community is key. Yes, exactly. Community is the key. And we are a community. Okay, so we are a community, and I'm so happy to see you here because that is the first time that I'm doing that. So I was so excited to do that. About the topics that we discussed and the crowdfunding. So if you have any questions, like post them in the comment section now, or you're gonna be able to post some questions in the post, which is gonna contain this video, and I'm gonna be able to reply you on the in the Facebook group. Aaron says, thanks, Mattia. Take care and be well. Ciao, Aaron. Ciao, guys. So, guys, if you don't have any other questions, we can also end this live call. It was a pleasure to me. It was a very big pleasure. I was expecting anyone like join the live session because that is again like that was my first time doing that, and I would love to continue doing like a live session if you like it. So if you like this kind of talk, this kind of method to communicate like just tell me that like in the comment section or also posting comments inside the Facebook group, because I actually enjoyed that so much. So take care, guys, and feel free to reach me out if you're gonna have any other questions about that inside of the Facebook group and or like via email. After joining the newsletter, you're gonna find out like all the details about my contacts. Okay, ciao, guys. It was a pleasure, and see you.